The MG Show. What real independent journalism looks like.
Remember, thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring that bell. Stay tuned, we're going to start right now.
What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show.
Good morning, Patriots. Welcome to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being here. Today, it is Wednesday. It is April Fool's Day, but I think that we have some issues with that. Jeff,
are you going to let him know that I'm hosting today, Shady?
He's going to be coming in. We got Alex Jones in the hot seat.
Alex Jones.
Welcome to you, Alex. Thanks for joining me today.
You know,
sir.
We need to leave Trump right now. We need to leave him. And I told you that we told you back in 2018 that I was an idiot.
and you're now proving that. Very
now
well
we're proving
done,
it.
sir.
Wow. We're always wrong until we're right here on the MG Show. MG Show is telling you right now that Infowars is dead officially, Shady Groove.
Boom.
It is officially dead.
It is absolutely dead because what are they doing? They have now jumped off the cliff. We have been watching them inch ever so close to the edge of this cliff, sir. The TDS cliff, the one that we knew that they were never really the one that we knew that they weren't immune to it. We knew that they had the TDS the whole time. They were just like walking around in society acting like they didn't have the TDS so that people would keep feeding them money as they pretended to support Donald Trump. Well, now those days are over.
That's awesome. Real quick, I'd like to welcome somebody new to the show. It's Jersey Talks. Hello, sir. Good to see you here. Spent over an hour with Magic Woman on the phone last night, and she kept raving about how awesome your show is. So here I am, super excited to check it out live. Thank you very much, Jersey Talks.
God bless you, sir.
What you're going to learn about us is that, we might have looked at Alex Jones back in the past too, but we realize that he's starting to flip against Trump and all this doomer stuff. Here's what he said yesterday, Shady. Alex Jones says it's time to cut bait on Trump because the president is in free fall. Mm-hmm. So basically he went on this rant, Shady Grove, and he was like, I'm having swollen ankles and I'm having heart failure and babble, boo, 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 eat your neighbor and all that. Cut bait before the midterms, cut bait. Trump, cut it bait. Guys, we stand with Donald J. Trump right here on the MG Show. The only way you're going to get true information is watching Donald Trump and the cabinet, okay? I'm so tired of all these influencers that have been exposed by President Trump and us for years, and we're always wrong, Shady Groove, until we're right. And it's amazing that, Sleepers, once position was yay, will shift nay. Alex Jones was a sleeper. We've got people that have Q in their name that are sleepers. Look at this right here. This is a great meme that the left does. Look at the left can't meme. And then this is, you're going to choke on your own lies. Well, tell me what lies, Brian Puffnack, with this in his name. Do you see how you were taught to hate Q because of people like this, guys? Yes. Okay. So the left can't meme. In addition, this is a great example of the accounts that infiltrated the Q movement to gatekeep and make ridiculous decodes just to discredit Q. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And by the way, Shady, I do like cucumbers, but sliced up on my salad.
Yes, I understand, and that's fine. I mean, and by the way, you're allowed to have cucumbers however you'd like to have them. Sir.
Well, you know, if that guy drinks, and that's what they do. This is a digital soldier. This is a Flynn bot that put a Q in their name and did false decodes to make you look crazy. Now, I want to just ask you one more question. Mm-hmm. Did the media go after Donald J. Trump?
Yep.
Did people online go after Donald J. Trump? Mm-hmm. Did people online go after Q? Mm-hmm. Did the media go after Q?
Yep.
So what's the difference?
Did they go after us?
Yes. Bigly.
Did they go after us in the exact same way because we've been supporting Donald Trump? You see, now you're seeing the network operate. Yeah. Whenever they're in agreement with you and they're kind of on your side, you don't really see them operate. And we didn't see them operate until they were in disagreement with us, and then they came at us sideways. So we have the experience of going through this 3 or 4 times now with these same exact people that were making the meme there that Jeff was just showing you. He's showing you that so that you guys understand the reality of what it takes to be online in an online space and actually stand there and support what Donald Trump's messaging is. It's been this way the whole time. You're just having a hard time seeing it because the people that support Flynn and the people that support Jones hadn't gotten the go order yet. Now they're getting the go order from multiple places. Now, what kicked this off was Donald Trump posting the meme where he was outing Flynn and where he was outing Jones and all of these people as opportunistic grifters. Since then, they've all started to turn, and Ivan Ranklin has amplified his attacks on Dan Bongino, and Matt Thomas Massey is making things up. All of these different people are doing this at the behest of the network. Don't disqualify any of them as disconnected. They're all connected to the same network, whether it's Roger Stone, whether it's General Flynn, whether it's IET coming out yesterday telling everybody to put the 3-star back in your name. We're
Please do.
Thank you. Identify yourself on the digital battlefield so that my audience can know that if you've got 3-star in your name, you're a Flynnian. That means that you're a cult member that is anti-Trump now.
That's right. And underneath Rebel Valkyrie's great post today, somebody said, honest question, are you willing to meet in the middle with people who mostly agree with you but don't see eye to eye on Q, or is trust an anonymous entity a hard line for mutual respect? And I answered her. And basically, here's the question. Absolutely. What we learned from Q is amazing. And disinformation about Q is, in fact, real. Okay. Just think about the same people that attacked President Trump that attacked Q. What does that tell you? What does it tell you when Hillary Clinton wanted my account, off Twitter at that time? What does it tell you when Media Matters wrote 40 articles just on my account in our show? What does that tell you? What does it tell you when a sitting senator put me on a list that they wanted off Twitter on Twitter File 16? They got our YouTube, our Cash App, our PayPal, and a lot more. What does that tell you guys? What does it tell you, Shady?
It tells me that what we are doing is something that is effective towards ending mind control. Okay. What we're doing is we're trying to end your mind control. They've been controlling you by your emotions for your entire life, unless you were able to somehow step away from it. And we're teaching people real discernment that disconnects you from the emotion. Therefore, you no longer navigate by fear. Alex Jones, General Flynn, and Roger Stone, these people, they're fear porn sellers. You know, like they're imagine them in the little wagon. Okay, they got fear porn on the side of it, and this is the potions that they're selling you, magic potions. That's exactly what they are. Okay, so you don't have to buy the potion. We can walk past the truck. And that's exactly what this show is doing, because we're not part of that. We are out of the, quote, matrix, and we are in the golden age with Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is messaging perfectly, Jeff. And maybe this helps. Donald Trump is messaging perfectly. Everybody is misunderstanding intentionally. The alt-right are misunderstanding exactly like the exactly like the left misunderstand. It's pretend misunderstanding. They feign stupidity, and then they faux outrage.
That's right.
That's the move.
We're breaking the conditioning. Ah! We're coming for you, globalist. Coming for you. We know what you're doing. Sorry. I just get fired up when I think of what they're doing to us and how I want to resist them. And how easy they are to defeat. Excuse me. Think my testosterone's going up. This happens every time I start working out a lot again. And I swam 2 miles this morning pretty hard and ate a big fat steak last night. Full of hormones, testosterone on its own, right? So I'm going a little bit wild today, excuse me.
Oh, wait, here. Oh, yeah, watch this right here, Shady Group. That's what you need to watch. Infowars is dead.
Wait,
We are putting the coffin nail in this organization right now. It's fine for them to still exist. They are a left-leaning Democrat organization. Now they are properly identified as no different than Antifa. Enrique Tarrio and the nonsense of these people, the Roger Stone people, all these vigilante numbnuts, okay? Well, they're under the gun. They're under the puppet strings of people. These people aren't actually making decisions. They're doing things for their overlords, and the overlords in the situation are Roger Stone, Alex Jones, General Flynn. Those are the three overlords. The money man is Patrick Byrne.
Mm-hmm. So again, you were talking about IET or OGDRC, okay? He's going to be rocking the 3 stars for General Michael Flynn. It will be relevant soon. Ooh. But never forget this pesky Q post, guys. Are we happy with somebody that was posted on April 6th talking about the plan, timeline, plan, think nuke, stranglehold, think logically, timeline, plan, November, ACU pushes plan to Flynn. December 1 or 2, Flynn and Kushner meet with Ambassador Kislyak in Trump Tower. Kushner suggests a back channel through Russian embassy. December 5th, Flynn and IP3's McFarlane photographed in the Trump Tower lobby together. December 13th and 14th, Kushner meets with Sergei Gorkov, head of Vizcombank, can't even say it, or RDF, which is spun off from VEB in Trump Tower, to build nuclear power plants in the Middle East. It's called Michael Flynn's Middle East Marshall Plan, guys. Okay? We outed him. So then you look at this guy too, Shady. Never forget, guys. Never forget what these people did to you, okay? So this is his post, and let's see if he... So remember this? This is Eric Reinhold, Kash Patel's best friend on True Social. Kash Patel contacted me, well, his friend contacted me, Shady Groove and Authority via Reinhold to expose we, the media, Badlands, Devolution, and General Flynn's network of digital soldiers, guys, okay? We did this. Do you remember this, Craig? Let's see if he responded. Remember this, Craig?
No.
Nope, he didn't say anything, did he?
Mm-mm.
Oh, and there's the meme that Donald Trump posted about the Flynnians. Look at these. He's outing these people, okay? Wow. So, we've been right all along, haven't we?
Put your 3 stars back up. Isn't that interesting that he's calling them to do that?
Yeah.
Because they're creating the dividing line.
Yep.
You see? This is the dividing line. You're either Flynn or you're Trump. And
right.
this is
and
what
I'm
we
Trump.
told you was going to happen.
So
Yep.
I said, please do, Shady Grove, because the good people on X want to know who's really here for Trump and MAGA versus who is operating for the old guard, Shady. Going back to rocking the 3 stars in your name to or bio to signal your loyalty to a disgraced general who lied to President Trump will be relevant soon. Add them to show yourselves. Real ones know, guys, okay? This is the post. This is, and symbolism will be their downfall. Whew, and they're downfalling.
What letters did you say IET used?
17.
No, like what was the letters in his name that you said?
OG_DRC.
Oh, wow. He should have used LOSER.
Right. He's not an OG. You know, I mean, you know,
He's
he
not
did,
actually.
I got to tell you, though, he did do some good things, but, you know, they flipped. So when we were exposing We the Media, which is Flynn's digital soldiers, okay, it was interesting that they went into another room and were calling Kash Patel Trash Patel. I mean, you know,
Well, they were also undermining a number of different things that were going on then. Remember that they had the whole thing when Donald Trump announced that he was going to run for president. All of Badlands media came out to say that it wasn't a big announcement.
Yeah.
And then Roger Stone, by the way, rushed to Twitter the other day in his desperate support of General Flynn to say that he was supportive of General Flynn in 2023 running for president if Donald Trump decided he wasn't going to. Well, Donald Trump announced his presidency in late 2022.
That's right.
Making your reference back that so you are kind of giving us the little clue that we needed, that we were saying General Flynn is running a shadow campaign because they're going to try to take him out.
Yeah.
And then guess what happened? They tried to take him out.
Oh, gotcha. I was waiting for you to.
I wasn't saying it to you. I'm sorry.
So this is a post from LZSFG, and I'm glad they posted this. Just to be quite honest, okay. Look at they posted all these pictures of me at Mar-a-Lago. Yes. Mm-hmm. After this event, I went up into the actual club. They did not. I didn't see him there. I didn't see him there, and I didn't see him there, and I sure as hell didn't see him there. Okay. But this is what they're saying. They're trying to paint me as one of them because why, Shady? Because we actually traveled with them. So this is my post. They tried to paint me and you, Shady, and Alex as one of them. But the truth is, I was the whistleblower who helped take down the toxic We the Media cult in 2022, along with Alex and Shady. Signed their secrecy contract? Yes. Then I watched the control, infighting, and zero tolerance for questions. When RE5 warned everyone in early 2021 about the risks, many ignored it. I didn't stay silent. I spoke out, exposed the hypocrisy, helped dismantle the echo chamber that was eating its own while claiming to fight for truth. Real whistleblowers don't protect the machine. They break it when it goes wrong. That's what patriots do. Transparency over secrecy. You're welcome. We the Media Exposed. Shady Groove.
Yeah, that's exactly that's the whole point here. Whenever you see a machine that is working against you, it's your obligation as an American to speak up about it and try to break it.
That's right.
Okay. And effectively, that's what freedom of speech was supposed to be about. And during the time of the Industrial Revolution in the early parts of America, people started doing this. People started speaking out against corporate entities that were doing things that were not right. And then all of a sudden, this dynamic developed in America between the common person and the establishment, where the common person was protected from the establishment. That's what we've got. That's what America has, where the individual is protected from the behemoth. And these people, like Flynn and others, they operate in a whole different mentality. Their mentality is top down. Their mentality is you listen to orders. Their mentality is you belong to me, just like you would think of if they were a mafia don or something like that. That's the mentality of these people. That's the reason that vigilantism is at their core. That's the reason you see Roger Stone frothing at the mouth whenever he's getting his minions all riled up there in J6, and you see General Flynn doing very similar things. Why? Because this is their go-to. This is their cudgel. This is their weapon. This is what they wield against us to shut us up, just like what the left does with Antifa and DEI and globalism and all of this other nonsense. It's no different.
So, Shady, you had a really good post talking about this right here. What if I told you these two events are directly related? Trump's campaign, we fired top advisor Roger Stone on 8/8/2015. Okay?
We don't.
And then Mar-a-Lago raid happened on 8/8/2022.
Yes, sir.
Interesting. Now, what if I told you, but wait, there's more, Shady, because what if I also told you 8/8/2023 is when we received the go order from President Trump regarding General Flynn? We were able to, we were told to get General Kellogg's book called War by Other Means by Donald J. Trump. Guess what chapter 8 is called, Shady?
It's called Out Like Flynn. Show us.
Out Like Flynn. Right there. So there it is. 8/8/2023. Get it. Okay. Get the book. But you know what? We missed some comms too. There's the book right there. You guys got to get it. This is what he told us. We missed this in 2021. General Kellogg has written a sweeping and powerful account of the Trump presidency. He spent 4 years with me, not 23 days. He spent 4 years with me in the White House in the 2016 campaign for the presidency. His narrative is factual and indisputable. Unlike other fakers and slime balls that write fictional books, 5GW, without knowing me or virtually anything about me. The general knew me and my administration well. He was there for every major national security decision. Finally, we have a real inside account of our very successful 4 years. An incredible read published today. I strongly recommend this important book that will set a historic standard. Go get War by Other Means by General Keith Kellogg. It's really good. And here it is. This is Out Like, oops, I got the wrong, dang it, I got the wrong one. But Out Like, I messed up. But that was supposed to be chapter 8, Out Like Flynn, talking about how he sat with FBI directors, and then Keith Kellogg comes in. He gets subpoenaed to go to the Mueller, and then sees the 2 FBI agents again, Pietnik and Strzok. And he was like, whoa, what's going on here? He figured it out, guys. Okay. And we figured it out. And we figured it out a little late, but we figured it out, Shady.
So bring that back up if you would, and let's show the little bit slow down. Show the 2 screenshots that I gave you at the bottom that they didn't see.
Oh,
there you go.
Sorry about that.
There you go. So here we go. This is number 1. Look at the date, August 8, 2015. I just want to slow down so everybody can see this. Trump campaign. This is the date, August 8th. It was announced that they had fired Roger Stone. Roger Stone came out immediately and said, no, I didn't get fired. I resigned. He's all like,
I fired Trump.
Yeah, I fired Trump.
Because of Megyn Kelly. Because of how he treated his network, Megyn Kelly. Now you know Megyn Kelly's in the network, right, Shady?
Correct. That's exactly right. As well as Candace Owens and the rest of them. So now the next screenshot, here we see what happened on 8/8/2022. This is very important because what we talk about here is symbolism. And symbolism is extraordinarily important to the powers that be, the powers that lord over you in the shadows that you can't see. So we have to look at things a little differently to see it. Right here, August 8/8/2022. This moment in time from the FBI going into Donald Trump's house is payback.
Mm-hmm.
Roger Stone says in the video on J6 that we're going to send SDNY down and we're going to get him. We're going to get him. Right here, you see they just happened to show up at Mar-a-Lago on the 8th. Jeff is pointing out to you on the other post how what Donald Trump's retaliation against this was in 2022 from the Mar-a-Lago raid. This is 1 year to the day later. Right here, he's circling it at the bottom. 1 year to the day later, on this day, Donald Trump makes this post to us about Out Like Flynn, and pay attention to Keith Kellogg's book because you guys missed it.
Yeah.
And this is where we
this is when we missed it.
Yep.
Wow,
so
guys.
There's communications going on here. You know, I know that you're seeing pictures of Roger Stone and Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago, but what you're seeing is you're seeing Roger Stone initiating and attempting to put himself next to Donald Trump, forcing this dynamic to where, and Donald Trump is bringing him in, and he's standing right next to him because your enemy is as important as your friend in the real world, the real world of spiritual warfare. You've got to understand the game board around you, and you let no one get away from you.
Yeah.
And this is what Donald Trump is doing. And he's beating the crap out of these people in a way that they can't come to the microphone and say, Donald Trump is beating me like this.
That's right.
They have to pretend and send Alex Jones out there to like lose his mind or the Kyle Seraphin thing or the Ivan Raikkonen thing. All of these things are fake.
Yep.
None of them have any real information that's important.
It's all just crap. By the way, G Brothers, thank you. Miso North, thank you. 5 subscriptions, G Brothers, thank you. Jersey Talks, 5 subscriptions. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow.
And welcome.
And that's a new listener?
Yeah.
God
Thanks
bless
to
you.
Magic
Wow,
Woman.
that's cool.
Thanks to our Magic Woman.
Man, how awesome is this?
Yeah, it's awesome. And don't forget to get your snark magnet. Go to thingsofholding.com, guys, and get your MG Show magnet. Thingsofholding.com/MG Show and use MG Show for 10% off, guys. But man, I'm telling you guys, we've been through the ringer, guys. We've been through it. Okay. And we're trying to show you how we know because we were embedded with these mofos. They were trying to capture us, Shady.
Well, effectively, so for people that might not know, during Q was very specific. Okay. Jeff and Shannon did not know each other at the point of which Q started posting about Alex Jones. But Jeff and Shannon both already knew in their own realities, independent of one another, who Alex Jones really was. Mm-hmm. So the moment that Q started exposing Corsi and Alex Jones and the whole network that the two of us, like I said, on our own already understood, we were both kind of, and I'm speaking for you a little bit, sir, and I'm not going to, you can tell me I'm wrong if I'm wrong, but we were both, I was anticipating the moment where Q made a discernment between what he thought about Alex Jones and Infowars. At a point where Q started to support what Infowars and Alex Jones was doing, I would have been able to realize in that moment that that entity known as Q was running negative psych ops on the public.
That's right.
But he did something different. What he did was he painted the real target of Freedom of Speech LLC, the real target of the Mossad connection, the real target of Jerome Corsi, the real perpetrators at the core of this network who spin information in a way that makes it undigestible to you. They're giving you information in a way where you can't take it in and properly discern what the information means. There's so much gobbledygook mixed with it, so much hyperbole and so much emotion that you can't understand anything that's going on.
Thank you again. Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to finish. So whenever you made those posts about Alex Jones, it emboldened me personally, and I bet Jeff would say the same thing. It emboldened me personally to stand up and to pick up the microphone because I recognized that Q was painting the target on the right enemy and giving us cover has been the whole thing. The Q drops are effectively cover for what we do here on the show to show everybody the real truth in the underbelly of what it is. The questions. Q asked us a bunch of questions. We decided to answer them, and we kept the receipts. Is that fair?
And people that are attacking this show would, if you've really followed Q, you would realize that I was Q'd quite a bit. And, and you would think that that's good, right?
Yes.
Right. So that's why these people with Q in their names are making us look stupid. We actually reported on Q. Big difference, okay? We're not Q followers or Q this. We are educated people that understand things. And this actually did happen. Now, what people will always worry about with Q is like, JFK Jr. alive and all this other garbage and gobbledygook that doesn't even matter. And what Shady was pointing to with all these like rage bait and feelings. Q actually talked about Donald Trump, okay? And Donald Trump was Q plus and Donald Trump's agenda. Do you think that, what I want to just let you guys know is that, we had a big Q proof yesterday, right, Shady, with the mail-in ballots?
I know because I saw it come up, but a lot of people don't know.
So if Q was against mail-in ballots and Trump is against mail-in ballots, 1 + 1 =
2.
So this is a Q proof. This is mail-in ballot harvesting, fraud, executive action. Q drop 4802, removal of mail-in ballot harvesting, fraud, normal in-person voting. Q drop 4738, paint narrative, mail-in voting plus ballot harvesting. Not all mail-in ballots counted. We must go door to door if needed. Ballot harvest, crimes against humanity. Q drop 4688, create non-digital pathway to rig 2020. Engage 80 million mail-in ballot distribution. Attempt to ballot harvest. Stall, challenge, push, division, chaos. They told us the plan in 2020. C19, mass mail-in harvesting. Post-election day accounting. Doubt, chaos, coup attempt. Now, President Donald Trump on March 25th, 2025, the EO, preserving and protecting the integrity of American elections, enforces Election Day receipt deadline for mail-in absentee ballots, and that's 2 USC 7 and 3 USC 1. No more counting ballots that arrive days later. AG to enforce against non-compliant states. Conditions federal funding on uniform standards. Criticizes mass voting by mail versus strict limits in places like Denmark and Sweden. Today, 3/31/2026, yesterday, White House announces a new EO tightening mail-in rules even further. Verify citizen list, secure ballot tracking, penalties, potential funding, cuts for states that don't comply ahead of 2026 midterms. Complements the SAVE Act push. Proof of citizenship to register to vote. Photo ID. Very heavy restrictions on mail-in ballots. Exceptions. Only when illness, disability, military, or travel. No more easy mail-in registration without documents. They were weaponized. They weaponized mail-in to try to and steal 2020, and they were successful. Trump is systematically removing the pathway. Normal in-person voting. Election day receipt, citizens only, no more harvesting games. The storm is here. Election integrity restored. Where we go, one we go all. What else did Q say about the rigged non-digital pathway? Future proves past. Shady.
There you have it. Is that not what you want?
That's what I want.
Does that sound cryptic?
No.
not cryptic at all, right? Uncryptic, very matter of fact. Bottom line, the level being mail-in ballots are fraud. Mail-in ballots are fraud, and they've always been fraud. And so we had to use this whole mail-in ballot thing. I'm a conservative. We had to use mail-in ballots for the 2024 election. I'm 100% on board with Donald Trump. I think that we should, as a country, vote on election day. I think that we should all have to show up. And I understand that some people are older and can't, and that's fine. And some people are out of country and they can't, and that's fine. And these processes are set up for them. They're 100% legit. But utilizing this idea of, of voting remotely with a mail-in ballot, whenever I live in the state of Oregon, they're giving, and I know that you won't believe me, but they're giving people driver's licenses. They're giving illegal aliens driver's licenses here. The moment that illegal alien gets a driver's license, you know what else the state is doing for them? Oh, this great state of Oregon. They're registering them to vote at the same time. But they don't really ever need to get the ballot, right? All we need is the name on the piece of paper and the vote that's going to go to that person. But we don't even need to send it to that person. All we need to do is fill that out and put that person's name on it and then send it into the place that counts it. It doesn't go to a voter. You're not understanding the process. And this is the process in Oregon, Washington, California. I would speculate Chicago, New York, and a number of other states are doing this exact same process. So if we get rid of mail-in ballots, you're going to get rid of your Democrat majority.
Wow. Jersey Talk says, if Leanne says you guys are the truth, then I trust her judgment. Keep fighting the good fight, fellas. Thank you so much for the 10 subscriptions to the MG show. Thank you so much. And then the $1 Rumble rant. I appreciate you. Thank you. So let's go ahead and watch a little bit of this. This is President Donald J. Trump with a Q proof, Shady Groove.
Interesting.
Wow. But Q is so cryptic, Shady. It's
very cryptic. It's hard to understand. It's almost like you'd have to be
thank you very much.
an American patriot to get it.
Wow.
The meeting set up very proudly by us, having to.
And I'd like to point out that this happened around 5 o'clock yesterday, and the 5 didn't even show this.
Nope.
Okay?
They played their dumb show.
Yeah.
Do with voter integrity and mail-in ballots and stopping the massive cheating that's gone on.
Fox likes mail-in ballots.
We're going to be signing an executive order. It's, I believe, it's foolproof. And
did you know Tyrus's last name is Murdoch?
I did not know that.
Yep.
Maybe it'll be tested. Maybe it won't. I think it's
more like
what's said.
Never mind.
And I'll ask Will Scharf to start off, attorney, a great talent, a very brilliant young man.
More like Mr. T than Murdoch.
Discuss it, and then I'm going to ask Howard Lutnick to say a few words, and then I'm going to sign it, and we'll take a couple of questions. Okay? Thank you.
Mr. President, as you said, you have in front of you an executive order that deals with a number of issues relating to election integrity. As you've consistently identified, two of the biggest problems we have with election integrity in this country are, one, inaccurate voter rolls that allow ineligible people to vote in various federal and state elections all over the country. And then secondarily, you've consistently identified that vote by mail in this country has become rife with fraud. People returning ballots who aren't eligible to return ballots being sent to people who aren't confirmed to be eligible voters. So what this executive order is going to do is, one, we're going to take federal data. We're going to ensure that each state's election officials are provided with a comprehensive view of who the eligible voters in their jurisdiction actually are, allowing them to properly verify that everybody voting in their elections is legally able to vote. And then it orders the Postmaster General and the U.S. Postal Service to take bold new measures to verify that ballots both being sent to people are being sent to people who are eligible to vote, and then the ballots being returned or being properly returned by eligible voters only. And we believe that combined, the measures in this executive order will help secure elections in the future and ensure that the many abuses of our election system in the past aren't repeated in future elections.
Right. Howard?
So the fundamentals of our democracy are built on voter integrity, right? We all need it. You've said it time and time again. It's a total agreement amongst everybody. So here's the idea. The states, right, run these elections. They will, if they want to use the U.S. mail, the U.S. Postal Service, they're going to get a code, a barcode from the U.S. Postal Service, and they're going to put that on the envelope, and we will have one envelope per vote. None of this time where we have no idea, there's no observers to mail, there's no envelopes, there's no certainty. That's all going to go away, and what the president is doing today is he's going to make sure that mail-in ballots are safe, secure, and accurate, and will have a clear distinction. If you voted by mail, you will have it on the envelope. Obviously not on the ballot, but on the envelope. So we will know 1 million mail-in ballots. There'll be 1 million envelopes, and you'll be able to know exactly, correctly, that citizens voted.
And this came up with some great legal minds. They looked at the various documents and everything that was going on, because the cheating on mail-in voting is legendary. It's horrible what's going on. And it's very clearly covered, very, very clearly. So I think this will help a lot with elections. We'd like to have voter ID. We'd like to have proof of citizenship, and that'll be another subject for another time. We're working on that. You would think it would be easy. It's a 98% issue for Republicans. It's 86%. The thing just came out, a poll, and it's 86% with Republicans and Democrats, not leaders, because the leaders of the Democrats cheat. And the only people that don't want to do voter ID are people that cheat. There's no other reason for it. Proof of citizenship, they want to be able to cheat. There's no reason. They have all sorts of reasons, excuses, but it's all nonsense. They want to cheat. But the Democrats themselves are very high. It's a very positive, very, very good thing. The Democrat voters, the Democrat leaders, guys like Schumer, who are corrupt, they want to use it for cheating because their policy is so bad with, think of their policy, open borders for everybody, where people pour into our country from countries all over the world. Think of that. You look at, just take any issue, take anything, everything they have is so crazy. But the fact that they don't want to sign voter ID is another issue. It's a big issue. The fact that they don't have proof of citizenship, that they want transgender for everybody, that they want men in women's sports. So the only way, they assume, the only way they can win is to cheat. When you have men in women's sports, it's fine, it's wonderful. By the way, I worked very hard with the Olympic Committee and got that terminated for the Olympics. Very nice. Now, girls won't have to get beat up in the boxing ring like they did last time. If you saw those fights, too.
Thank you, sir.
People that transitioned beat the hell out of everyone, out of other people, women. It was not a pretty sight to watch. So I worked very hard with the Olympic Committee, and we were able to get that out. So the Olympics will not have men in women's sports. But these are the things that they vote on, and that's why we're having a problem with them. They don't want ICE because they don't want people to be taken out of our country that are murderers, that are drug dealers, and that are people from mental institutions, the criminally insane. These are not nice people. And it's amazing. It's not even believable. If you go back 12, 13, 15, 20 years, that we even have to bring up a subject like there will be no trans mutilation. We don't want any transgender mutilization of our children. We don't want to have people pouring into our country from other countries all over the world, where prisons are opened up. All over the world, they're opened up, and they pour into our country. Murderers. 11,888 murderers. Think of that. We got many of them out. And by the way, Washington, D.C. just set a new record for safety, and I'm sure you know that.
All right, so I'm just going to leave it there for a minute because that is a Q proof, guys, what he was talking about, okay, with the mail-in ballots. And, you know, I know, you know, people are you still into that Q stuff? Yeah, because it didn't happen with the first term because he was screwed with the people that were around him, including Bannon, Flynn, McMaster, Hope, Hicks, you know, you name it, all of them. They were all idiots, okay? And they were gatekeeping President Trump from doing what he actually needed to do, which is what you're seeing in this term, Shady.
So during the Q drops, sometime, I'm thinking it was like the summer of 2019, there was a drop that came out that said, and I'm not going to be able to remember it exactly, but the drop basically said that decisions have been made to end it, or the way that we were trying to get our way isn't working, and we are moving to a bigger plan. The plan initially was to Let's let some sleeping dogs lie. Let's just all work together, pretend like it didn't happen, and work past it. Well, instead of doing that, they decided to create an insurrection and try to paint MAGA as a bunch of crack-headed, violent, foaming at the mouth, radical white supremacists on J6. So that's what they did to us. And then they stole the election by using the military, and what they calling a Fedsurrection was actually a bunch of rogue military causing the chaos at the Capitol intentionally to scare the hell out of the politicians, so the politicians wouldn't come back and do the right thing, which is question the validity of the election in 10 states. Okay, that's what they did. So because they did all of that, we knew they were going to do that. Q also put out the post that says, I'm going to be bringing down the whole blanking temple. Okay, so that means a lot more than you think it means. The blanking temple that Q is referring to is the established globalist overlord order that is currently wielding all of its swords and knives against you to try to stop you as the American patriot from being successful in this world, and to make sure that you have a whole bunch of nothing, just like everybody else in the world has a whole bunch of nothing. And Donald Trump is trying to hand you your wealth back that these people stole from your ancestors, and that's why they're pissed.
In addition, Kashyap Patel, name to remember, has said we're going to tear this whole temple down, guys.
He did. That's right.
Diseased temple. Okay. Just going back on this is, trying to stay with this QD code, mail in. Okay. Mail-in is 11 times, guys. Okay. All right. 11 posts with mail in ballot push election. Look at, we knew this.
This is how they cheat. This is the reason.
Is it about the virus or protecting themselves, Shady? Right.
Right. I believe the reason that Q mentioned it so often was because this is exactly how they cheat. They all rushed to tell us about all the machines and all these different things and all these different. They were distracting you. The way they really cheat is that they give illegal immigrants ballots and then they mail them in for them.
That's it. Your voice and your vote are what matters most. Witnessing attempts to remove both censorship, fascism, authoritarian.
Authoritarian.
Gosh. Deplatform, removal, silence. They did all this to us, guys. Mail-in vote fraud, dilute. Water down constitutional rights, freedom of speech, willfully blind or willfully accepting. Okay. This is, look at the lockdowns. Look at what you know about COVID today. That COVID was the push for mail-in ballot voting. Okay. This was the push. This is what they used. Was it about the virus or was it about the election? It's about making sure you don't find out about their corruption. Okay? Haven't you figured it out yet? Yes, I think we have. How do you maintain control of the narrative? Mail-in voting necessary and attempt to keep control of population. Next challenge, rise in cases due to testing, Inc. and MX California, but overall decrease in death rates. Nursing home scandal in public domain, no longer a viable option. Talking about all this with COVID, Shady Groove. And the mail-in ballot. How do you support mail-in ballot election fraud? Election was not rigged. All polls showed Biden had double-digit lead versus POTUS. Example? Who benefits the most? Is it about the virus or the election, guys? Guys, this is but Q is bad, guys, right? Q is bad, but yet Donald Trump and Q are aligned 100%, Shady Groove.
And we are able to navigate this current administration because we have an outline.
Yeah.
Q was the outline of what it is that MAGA was going to do to the deep state.
Mm-hmm.
You want it summed up in a sentence? That's the sentence. That's what Q was here to do. A back channel to communicate to you, to tell you about, you guys might want to take a seat. You might want to watch, or you might want to pay attention, because what's going to happen in the future is you're going to be handed a world that you couldn't believe possible. A world where opportunity is at your door, as opposed to fear. Okay, they want you to buy into the fear, because if you buy into the fear, you'll never innovate. You'll never come up with something cool. You'll never do the right thing by your family. You'll probably turn to drugs. You'll be sitting there at the bar every Friday and Saturday night, ignoring your family. All these different things. These are ways to draw you away from what it is that the man upstairs put you here for. I know some people might not want to hear it, but each one of you were put here for a reason, but he can't make you do what you're put here to do. That's your choice to do that.
Yeah, that's right. Good comment, Shady Group. Well done. Well said. And I wanted you to just it was interesting too. 8/8/2023 is when we came out against Flynn. Do you remember that, Shady?
Mm-hmm.
And then on August 15th, just days later, General Flynn, meet Jeff from the MG show.
Yep, that was right after. This is from Clay Clark.
Clay Clark. Yeah.
And Jeff responded to them recently.
Yeah, I did. I still love General Flynn.
We waited a couple of years and then we sent a message back.
Got another pesky Antifa proof, Shady Groove, because I'm sure Q never talked about Antifa, did he?
Antifa mapping happened long ago, sir.
Wow. So let's do this, Shady Groove. Let's see. How many do you think there is?
Oh, I know there's a bunch. There's more than 40.
50.
Aha.
Look at that. 50 drops with Antifa. Designates KKK and Antifa. Go ahead.
Flip them.
Flip them what?
Flip them to descending instead of ascending. So you can see the ones that were posted first. There
12.
you go. Number 12.
I was going to go to that with my Q post because that's the first one I did. Because on 10/30/2017, post 12, military intelligence reference above is the absolute biggest inside drop this board will ever receive. Now think about why Antifa plays right into our plan. Always ahead. Good guys are winning. On 3/31/2026, Trump's counter terror officials are planning an international Antifa summit. Intel sharing global coalition crushing these Marxist terrorists. They call it a conspiracy now. It's official Trump administration policy. Q was right again. The storm is here. All 50 posts. There it is. Exclusive U.S. counterterror officials plan Antifa summit. Sources say Shady. Wow. And again, 50. Okay.
Well, whenever we're reading these posts again, what you'll notice is there's a layer now that we see that I didn't see whenever these posts were happening of the connection between ex-military and Antifa antics. They're the same as the connections between ex-military and Proud Boy antics. The same ex-military, one McChrystal, one Flynn, controlling two sides of the conversation. Thesis, antithesis, Proud Boys, Antifa, Oath Keepers, Antifa. Like you see, I'm not saying that these organizations, the people that in the organization of the Proud Boys are bad. What I am saying is the people that lead that organization are bad, and the intention of that organization is vigilantism, not law and order. Law and order is the way of this country, ladies and gentlemen. I hate to come to tell you this, but every single human being that you look at when you walk around on the streets of this country is innocent until proven guilty. You have no right to vigilante anything against anyone. If you want to protest and hold a sign and stand there and act like a numb nut, you're more than welcome to do that. But you're not welcome to impede anyone's rights to be a human being and ignore you.
Patriots, rest assured we are in control. Watch, confirm, and disseminate. The country is not divided. This is fake news. Antifa was organized purely for optics regarding division. It's fake. Estimated 4 to 6% we consider hopeless and forever brainwashed. Reread the crumbs slave grip the Democrat Party has on the black population. Why is this relevant? Look at all the Antifa. Think George Soros pays for Antifa out of his own pocket?
No, you do.
We showed you Arabella advisors.
Where you pay for it.
Yeah.
You're each and every one of you, like, you happy to pay your taxes. Guess what you're doing? You're paying for Antifa to come and maraud over your city.
Do you think Antifa was grown organically?
No.
Purpose? Watch the news this week. Let's see. We got, why does Antifa flag mimic that of the Nazis? Is it a coincidence?
Oh, I'm sure. Yes.
And here's the sauce, okay? Look at that.
That doesn't look anything like a Nazi symbol.
Stop. Right? Antifa, formed violent group designed to install fear in free speech. Remember, everybody was afraid to wear a MAGA hat. You're afraid to talk about Trump on social media because these Antifa-minded people will come and attack you on your Facebook page.
And they're really Flynn-minded people at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that one right there, that one even had, remember that one had Cernovich on it. That makes me think of the whole operation on that banner too.
Why is Antifa allowed to incite violence, wear masks and make threats, use and carry weapons and physically harm others who oppose their ideology? Why does Antifa attempt to justify such violence by labeling the challenger as alt-right or Nazi when they're actually the alt-right or Nazi?
Let us remind you that this is during the time where they were telling you that every single human being in this country had to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Okay. And so they were hiding their little minions behind all their masks. And they were, it's like everybody could get COVID except for anybody that wants to protest for Black Lives Matter. Anybody that wants to protest for Black Lives Matter, none of you guys are susceptible to COVID whatsoever. Get out there and the thousands of people just mingle.
That's right. That's right.
That's what happened.
It's always been out in the open. You just have to look, and we must stay together, guys. Together, we're strong.
together.
Symbolism, 3 stars in your Twitter handle, is the end. Okay? Infowars equals the end. Infowars is dead, Shady Groove. And we're here at the MG Show to pick up that mantle. Let's go.
We are.
With truth.
We're absolutely here. We're absolutely here to rescue the people that are jumping ship. Okay? Because just like the Titanic, Infowars is headed to the bottom of the ocean. And that isn't a figure of speech. That means that the people that continue to pay attention to Infowars are Infowars, which does not serve any purpose. Okay. So their purpose can just be an echo chamber. And by ignoring them and starving the grift, ignore them and move on and don't give them an ounce of your time or an ounce of your attention. We can report on Alex Jones, but we are not going to be reporting on what Alex Jones is reporting.
Finn just said,
Alex Jones is a patriot.
I know he is, Finn. I'm so sorry.
it's April Fool's. Here's this great graphic right here. This is the 1933 paramilitary wing of the Communist Party, 2017 paramilitary wing of the Democrat Party. Okay. Then you've got this. Look at this. Look at that. Anti-fascista action. Antifa. Anti-fascist action. Same thing. Look at these people here, Shady Grove.
Yeah, the picture on your left was organized by one of your ancestors for George Bush.
Yeah. Right. Look at that.
I mean, this is what the Q drops were explaining to you, what was going to be happening and how Antifa was going to be used and who they really were. And the reality is Enrique Ontario and Joe Biggs and the Stuart Rhodes and that whole crew of people that are acting like, the I'm fired up guy, all of these people that are acting like, they did something good on J6. They didn't do something good on J6. The Roger Stone people that put them up to it are telling them that they're being congratulated and saying that they did something good on J6.
That's right. Groups such as Antifa were funded and formed to prevent and or lessen the appeal for regular, hardworking Americans to gather and express non-narrative viewpoints. This is Q posts, guys. 50 Antifa Q posts. Now we've got...
making it where we can't talk.
But Q is ridiculous, Shady Groove.
But effectively making it where we can't talk. If Democrats or anybody, if everybody had paid attention to what was going on, you would see that Q was here to try to get us to talk.
That's why we picked up a microphone, Shady.
Right. That's because we wanted to talk, because it's not about Republican and Democrat. I can have a conversation with a normal person who claims that they're a Democrat if they can suspend their TDS long enough to hear something that someone has to say. I don't have whatever is wrong with them DS.
Yeah.
They have TDS.
Turtle.
No.
Dicolitis? What is it called?
Derangement syndrome. And I said, I don't have the whatever it is DS. In other words, I'm not triggered about their leader. They're triggered by mine.
Wow. Were they violent? Mass terror organizations such as Antifa immediately created or funded? Why, guys? Why? Right as President Trump walked down. And then you got people being beat up in Chicago. Remember all that, Shady?
Yep.
And then you were afraid to wear a MAGA hat. How terrible is that? This is America. I can vote and support whoever I want. Now it's like you can't even have a relationship. If you're a Trump supporter, I don't want to talk to you.
Well, remember we had Juicy Smollett.
Yeah.
Juicy Smollett got attacked by, he had to come out to the microphone, this big Hollywood guy. He had to come out to the microphone and tell everybody that it was 2 guys in MAGA hats attacking him at 2 a.m. in downtown Chicago. Well, it turned out to be 2 of his African friends.
A lie. He paid him to beat him up. It's the weirdest thing. And put a noose around his neck.
And wear MAGA hats.
And that's the same time Congress did the anti-lynching law.
Yeah, it is. That actually is true.
Interesting.
Kamala Harris was right there for that. And Kamala Harris is related to Jesse Smollett, by the way.
Kamala Harris.
Kabbalah. Kabbalah.
Oh my gosh, guys. It's just very interesting to see, how this is actually lining up and to be, attacked for reporting on something just like CNN did. Shady, CNN had me on their program to make me look bad, but I think I made us look pretty good. But, what's wrong with following something called Q and understanding it and then looking at what Trump is doing today is what Q was talking about then. He just couldn't do it in the first term because he was infiltrated.
Because the military generated a coup against the country and stole the election by mail-in ballots. And then that military came out and they raised a bunch of money, and then they did an audit in Arizona, and they went out and they found more ballots for Joe Biden.
It's so crazy.
Like 200,000 more votes for Joe Biden they found with their election integrity project.
Antifa mapping started long time ago. Police ordered to stand down by Democrat mayors and Democrat governors. Antifa coordinated safe zones. You've seen it. You've seen this with your own eyes.
We've watched them get out of U-Hauls right in front of police.
Yeah.
Multiple times. You're not allowed to ride in the back of a U-Haul, but the police will stand there and watch the Antifa crawl out of the back of a U-Haul and not say anything.
Crawl. Yeah. We'll be right back after these beautiful boom messages.
They're kind of like...
Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's a 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and such.
There is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received the generous $500 donation from Spill Tea, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20% and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at RealMGShow or $RealMGShow. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
The MG Show. Not funded by dark money, but funded by listeners like you.
For the first time ever, we're bringing you MyPillow mattresses and mattress toppers for as low as $99.98. Remember, sleep's all about temperature and pressure points. Whatever sleep needs you have, we have the right technology for you. Like our MyPillow mattress topper, our queen size has over 10,000 individual comfort supports to help relieve your pressure points. And how about our 3-inch Hybrid Plus mattress topper? It's infused with copper and silver to help your body get the restorative sleep it needs. And our MyPillow and Case Coil mattresses, I personally helped develop these mattresses to make sure they have everything needed to give us great sleep. Plus, they're made right here in the USA, and they ship right to your front door absolutely free. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to get MyPillow mattresses and toppers for as low as $99.98 and free shipping.
Remember, thumbs up if you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to ring that bell. Stay tuned, we're going to start right now.
feed us nothing but lies. Can't cover it up with their disguise. The people are starting to rise. We see the corruption in their eyes. The mainstream outlets flood the channels to mesmerize, crafting every segment just to hypnotize. They push the false flags and constantly criticize Trump and the movement they truly despise.
The unelected officials run their secret enterprise, working from the shadows in their clever disguise. They spy on the campaigns with the network of spies to sabotage the patriots and jeopardize.
The program sleepers get the call to mobilize. They blend in the crowds and start to improvise. Chaos in the streets to make the nation agonize, all to stop the Q team and the MAGA rise.
They rig the machines and the ballots they revise, counting in the darkness with their fraudulent prize, suppressing every voice that dares to vocalize the will of the people they constantly revise.
Big tech giants patrol the feeds to demonize, shadow banning warriors who dare to advertise. Algorithms twisted just to marginalize the truth tellers fighting for the people's paradise.
But their plans are failing as the sleepers realize the awakening is here and it will paralyze all their dirty tricks that they improvise. The movement's growing stronger, we won't come. They feed us nothing but lies. Can't cover it up with their disguise. The people are starting to rise. We see the corruption in their eyes. Lies, lies, lies. The truth survives. Their empire dies. Lies, 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 lies. The truth survives. Their empire dies. Lies. They feed us nothing but lies. Can't cover it up with their disguise. The people are starting to rise. We see the corruption in their eyes. Lies, lies, lies. The truth survives. Their empire dies. Lies, 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 lies. The truth survives. Their empire dies. Lies, lies. The truth survives. Their empire dies. Lies, lies, lies. Lies, lies. The truth survives. Their empire dies.
Wow, Scottish Shannon, I love it. You're doing great work out there. Link is pinned to the top of this if you guys want to go get that song and listen to it again. Licensed to Keck. That's right. This is a double OQ, 007 style feel. Thank you very much for that. 1.2 thousand views on that song, brother. Keep going. Keep doing it, and we'll keep featuring you guys that do songs. I've seen some from Midnight's Watch. We played his. We played Mikey Mariano. We played our MG music as well. But we're doing this because, one, you can kind of get a lot of the posts in there, okay? Two, it's non-copyright music for ScrewTube. And they're still looking over our account since November because it only takes 30 days to see if we can monetize on YouTube, and still nothing.
30 days. Since when?
November? Yeah.
January.
It's 30 days. Unless they meant 30 months.
I think we're past 30 days, sir. I'm not the greatest at math.
Whew, crazy.
That was great. That was absolutely great. That was Scottish.
Yep.
Very, very good.
SCOTUS Shannon. And by the way,
very good.
if you guys want to know who he is on X, it's TARTANIUM1, Tartanium1 on X, guys. Go follow him.
Great supporter of the show. Been here a long time. Thank you. Our patriots that are outside of America, sometimes, Jeff, I feel like they fight harder than the people here.
Yeah.
It's very interesting how much that the Q set a fire inside human beings around the planet to stand up and speak up for what is right. You don't have to be popular to say the right to say what's right. You don't have to be you don't have to have attention to say what's right. You can saying what's right whenever nobody's listening is what counts the most.
That's right. That's right. And here we are. We've always gone against their narrative. And, it's funny how, we've lost followers for telling the truth.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it too. You know why?
They've come back though too.
Well, a lot of the times they do come back. But listen, I'm going to take a minute here just to explain to you that what we're seeing right now is unprecedented.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm taking the time. I cannot get enough of watching Pete Hegseth and General Raising Cane and CENTCOM updates about what's happening in Iran. Why, Shady? Why are you so interested? Because what I'm seeing is competence, guys. I'm seeing competence in a way that I've never seen it in our lifetimes. We've never seen anything like this in our lifetime, to see the briefing that is happening in the current time. Yeti, can you put me up so Jeff doesn't move around? People can listen. Thank you. So we can see from what the Pentagon is saying directly to us and talking to you. The media, if you listen to the media filter, it's very, very discombobulating. It's like you were in Venezuela during the raid. They try to discombobulate. They use the discombobulator against you. They're coming at you sideways. They're saying, oh, well, we don't have any clear understanding of what the objectives are. Well, you're obviously not listening to the people at the podium. We don't know when this is ever going to end. Well, you're not really listening to the people. We don't know when are you going to stop beating on Europe. All of these different things that they care about and they cry about, you don't care about. It's very interesting. There's literally nothing that the press asks the Pentagon about this thing going on in Iran that has anything to do with what you would care about. The only thing that they're doing is they're trying to get a gotcha moment so that they can take it and say, oh, well, they don't really know what's going on over there. And they're trying to use this whole thing with the media, and Pete Hegseth has excised them to the specific media place. And I find this very curious because the media, you guys probably don't realize that this has happened. The media used to be able to just run the halls of the Pentagon. They could just go wherever. And so any general that popped out of their office could interface with the media and yap at them about something. The next thing you know, there's 10,000 stories coming up on the New York Times. The media no longer has access to the Pentagon. They have access to an annexed building that the Joint Chiefs go into whenever they talk to the press, and otherwise they're not allowed in the Pentagon. This is the reason that you're not getting all of these surreptitious, goofy things coming out against Pete Hegseth, because they're not being initiated against him because the press isn't present. And so we're seeing competence on a level that whenever you explained that we were going to end the threat of Iran, this is what it looks like whenever you're really going to go end a threat. What you saw in Afghanistan was not ending a threat. What you saw in Iraq was not ending a threat. What you saw in Vietnam was not ending a threat. What you saw in Kuwait was not ending a threat. Those were actions meant to bog down Americans and destroy lives. They had no intention, and they had no real end goal. This has the end goal of relieving the world of a terrorist state that's literally terrorizing Bahrain, Jordan, Egypt, you name whatever country is there where they're terrorizing them. Well, guess what? That's getting ready to go away, and it's thanks to our president. Thank you for that, Jeff. I needed to get that off my shoulders.
And those terrorist states are being operated by the rogue intelligence agencies.
Yes.
Okay.
So Trump is effectively getting rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
What if I told you that British and English and French cooperatives actually control the oil on Karg Island under the surreptitious disguise of Iran oil, and Donald Trump is targeting them? And no wonder, Jeff, we were reporting yesterday, France won't let our jets fly over.
And we told you why.
We told you why.
And that was from Q.
That's right.
when I just explain that, because we don't need to use the word Q, guys, but we do on our show. We can go on any show and talk about whatever we want intelligently, okay, without using the word Q. Q did give us armed us with the truth and made us look at stuff that I may never have looked at before. Do you think it's weird that the EU, NATO, and France and UK didn't want to help Trump with the Strait of Hormuz and Iran? Why? Because they have businesses there. Boom. Wow. How amazing is that? Pretty straightforward, isn't it?
You would wonder why Thomas Massey and Rand Paul and Mitch McConnell won't get on board with what we're doing with the Make America First and the SAVE Act, because they have investments in China.
Imagine that.
They bet on China. These people bet on China 10, 15, 20 years ago, and that's not a good bet. And they're very upset that Donald Trump has came to the conversation to make it not a good bet.
That's right. And just on Rumble alone, yesterday's show, when we explained all that, got 31,000 views, Shady. Just that one.
I saw that. And it got a lot of great comments, too. I was looking through the comments on the video.
Thank
Lots
you,
of great comments. And this whole week kind of has been, Monday, yesterday, and today has been a review of who these players are and the way that we've mapped them out, whether it be Roger Stone, Alex Jones, General Flynn. Those are the three perpetrators, and you're not going to fool us with people like Brendan Dilley running around acting like, it's just Flynn and Alex Jones. It's not Roger Stone.
Right, no. By the way, Moody Magpie says, please don't blame all the Brits for the actions of our scumbag politicians. We're so ashamed of them. So just as long as you didn't blame us for the last 40 years here, because I'm ashamed of mine too. You see what I'm saying, guys?
Yeah, we've got a bad record.
And just like, you can't say that all Jews are bad either. You can't say that all Catholics are bad. You can't say that all group, insert group here, are bad. You can't do it, guys. It just doesn't work. We are individuals. And if we realize that we're individuals and we're all we the people and can have normal conversations without being triggered on Orange Man bad or anything weird like that, we would get a lot more done in this world, wouldn't we?
Yeah, all Satanists are Satanists.
Yeah.
It's not, it is what they are.
Absolutely. And that's why we put on the armor of God, guys, every day.
And it's also, but it's also the reason that we have such confidence. You were mentioning that, the confidence sometimes comes across as arrogant.
Arrogant, yeah.
But the confidence is not necessarily confidence in anything other than the research that we've uncovered. It's like I'm in normal human reality. It's like no one's confident.
Yeah.
Whenever you've looked into something and you've discovered it and you've spent 10,000 hours doing it, you become confident.
At least 10,000 hours. I was decoding in my sleep, Shady Groove.
I know. 10,000 hours a year, maybe a better way to phrase that.
Whew, wow. All right. So real quick, we've got this right here, guys. It's the Rumble wallet, folks. They can cancel your accounts and they can freeze your cards. Decide what you're allowed to buy, say, or support. Big banks and financial institutions have total control and they use it. That's why financial independence matters now more than ever. Introducing that Rumble wallet, a wallet built for freedom. With Rumble Wallet, you'll control your money. Not a bank, not a government, or not a tech company. Buy digital assets like Tether Gold, and Bitcoin in one secure place. No permission, no middleman, no cancel button. And when you want to support your favorite creators, right? Hello, everybody. Wait, no, that's Grover. When you want to support your favorite creators, you can use the Rumble Wallet app to directly tip creators securely, instantly, and without interference, guys. It's awesome. This isn't a credit line that they can just shut off. It's your wallet permanently. Yours to protect your future, yours to protect your family. And when the system fails, when the institutions turn on their own people, financial sovereignty is the difference between security and vulnerability. Just that simple. Rumble Wallet isn't about politics. It's about freedom, ownership, and protecting what's yours. So take control today. Download that Rumble Wallet now and step away from the big banks for good. True ownership, true protection, and true financial freedom. And we love that Tether Gold, guys. Thank you so much. We love it. Love it. All right. Do you love it?
By the way, we've been getting reports that MG Show is in the wild.
I'm not sure.
Rumble is playing our ad around. We did a premium ad for Rumble.
Oh, yeah.
And folks have been seeing our ad out in the wild. Like MG Show is promoting Rumble on other people's channels because Rumble liked our ad that we did for them. That was pretty cool.
about getting premium. So get up premium today. Get it today. If you don't have premium, go to rumble.com/MG show. Look for the red button. Don't press the red button.
Don't touch that red button.
And sign up for Rumble Premium there. That way we get credit for it as well, guys. All right. Thank you so much. Wow, Shady. Where are we at? Okay. So where are we at?
Thank you for your to this matter.
Birthright citizenship has to do with babies of slaves, not Chinese billionaires who have 56 kids, all of whom become American citizens. One of many great scams of the time, President Donald J. Trump. So this is just an example. Chinese billionaire Zhu Bo has over 100 kids born in America through surrogates, all getting automatic U.S. citizenships. He wants dozens more boys to run his empire while he stays in China tied to the Communist Party. Okay? The Chinese Communist Party. Birthright citizenship was for the babies of freed slaves after the Civil War, not a baby factory for foreign billionaires buying passports for their dynasties. This is one of the biggest scams ever, and President Trump's executive order ends it. No more America first. Always. SCOTUS better get this right and make America great again. I don't know what's happening with SCOTUS, but I want to play. So President Trump made history, Shady Groove. He actually went down to the hearings. He went down to, and he stayed for the entirety of the Solicitor General D. John Sawyer's oral arguments, and then he left right after that. So he's back at the White House now, but he did go listen for about 2 hours, Shady.
Isn't that really cool? That what Jeff has reported to you is that the President of the United States took the time out to go and listen to the decision today at the Supreme Court over birthright citizenship. What Jeff is reporting to you is not just a one-off. This has been going on for a while. These people have been doing this for a while. They call them baby factories, whatever you want to call them. They show up here pregnant. Let's just put it that way. And the next thing you know, they got a little American, and they can start a company in that American's name and launder money back to China.
That's right. That's right. So let's listen to D. John Sauer. He's a Solicitor General. Lamb-based Ketanji B. Jackson. Now, remember, we showed you that Biden didn't even know who the Supreme Court nominee was going to be before Arabella Advisors Groups, okay, announced that she was going to be the new Supreme Court person, okay? She was handpicked by foreign and domestic billionaires, and she doesn't even know what a biologist is, Shady.
Well, yeah, she doesn't know. She doesn't know what a biologist does, much less what one. I said earlier today, like, this lady would be a lot smarter if she would just be quiet.
That's right. I'm not sure if this is another one, but Jersey Talks another 5 subscriptions to the MG show. Thank you. I think that's 3 for you today. 5 subscriptions. Thank you so much for that, man. We cannot thank you enough. So Ketanji B. Jackson is dark money from foreign and domestic billionaires, and she's on the Supreme Court. You see how this works, guys?
Wait to hear what she has to say.
Here we go.
So I guess I am looking at your position in this case, and it boils down to requiring us to do at least these 2 things. One is believe that the framers were not importing the common law rule and understanding of birthright citizenship. And the second is to believe that what they were doing was departing from that common law rule in the way that you suggest. That is, they were seeking to have this turn on domicile. I think you have a number of hurdles to accomplish those 2 things. One of which, I think, is that when we look at this court's case law, and no one, I think, has mentioned Schooner's Exchange, but it appears that that was an 1812 case in which it seems as though the court had already accepted at the time of the ratification of the 14th Amendment that the allegiance that you're talking about was the English common law rule. That, in other words, allegiance meant that you are covered by the laws of the jurisdiction, that you can rely on that jurisdiction's protection. That's what allegiance meant. Now, you're saying today, no, allegiance meant something about loyalty or that kind of idea. But if the Supreme Court had, prior to the 14th Amendment, established that allegiance meant the common law definition, I think your first hurdle is to help us understand why we would believe that when the 14th Amendment was ratified, the framers weren't just incorporating what we had previously said it meant.
Page 572 of the congressional record directly addresses this. They say the concept of temporary and local allegiance from the Schooner Exchange is what is meant by, or temporary and local jurisdiction from the Schooner Exchange is what is meant by the word jurisdiction in the 14th Amendment. Senator Trumbull says, I thought about saying owing allegiance, but again, quote, there's a sort of allegiance from persons temporarily resident in the United States whom we have no right to make citizens. So he expressly and consciously rejected reliance on citizenship.
What do we do with, I mean, that's a debate, and it's a discussion, very valid, but then we have a subsequent debate between Fessenden and Wade, where the same concept comes up, and it becomes clear, at least from Senator Wade's perspective, that that's wrong. So Fessenden, and I'm not sure whether these are senators, I apologize. Fessenden says, suppose a person is born here of parents from abroad temporarily in this country. Wade responds, the senator says a person may be born here and not be a citizen. I know that is so in one instance, in the case of the children of foreign ministers who reside near the United States, et cetera, et cetera. So it appears as though in that exchange, at least Senator Wade believed that the English common law understanding of what it means to have allegiance, to be a temporary person on the soil, was what was being adopted.
Yeah, that exchange strongly supports us. If you look at it in context, Senator Wade has introduced a version that says only birth on U.S. soil and doesn't have any allegiance or jurisdictional element to it. And so Senator Fessenden stands up and says, well, that can't be right because, obviously, what about the children of temporary visitors? It has this, it's another one of these statements that has this appeal to a background understanding that we all agree that the temporary visitors, their children do not become citizens. And then Senator Wade has to kind of backtrack and say, well, what are the children of ambassadors? And in the end, Congress does not adopt Senator Wade's proposal. So we think that to the extent you can draw an inference from that, the inference strongly supports.
All right. Well, let me just ask you about why we wouldn't see in the 14th Amendment anything about parental allegiance. Several of my colleagues have talked about the fact that your view of this turns on what the status of the parents are, and not the child, as would the born in the United States view of it. Can you help us understand why we wouldn't expect to see a mention of parents in the text of this amendment?
I think it was well understood that, for example, children cannot, newborns cannot form domicile, so it follows every 19th century.
That assumes domicile is in the test, and I'm asking you, how do we know that Congress did adopt the test that you say it adopted?
Yeah, when you're looking at 19th century conceptions of allegiance, the notion that the allegiance, again, we say domicile is instantiating the concept of allegiance for aliens as opposed to citizen. All of that, the 19th century understands the newborn's domicile, its allegiance follows the allegiance of the parents. And I point out that their theory relies on parental allegiance as well, because they recognize the exceptions for, hostile invading armies, for tribal Indians, for ambassadors. Again, the child's allegiance status, even on their view, turns on the status of the parent.
What do we do with Professor Mueller's amicus brief and the historical record and the fact that even at times in this country where we understood that the parents were declared enemies of the United States, I'm talking about World War II and Japanese internment, babies born in that circumstance were given birthright citizenship. So it seems as though this concept of allegiance of the parents really wasn't driving birthright citizenship, at least at this period of our history. So are you saying this is wrong, or they shouldn't have gotten birthright citizenship?
Well, if they were domiciled here, yes, they should have. If they were temporarily present, then no. But the executive practice we can see from the 1930s.
How does the temporary presence run with your concept of allegiance? I'm not sure I understand. So can you be clear? Are you saying that only people who are domiciled here, as you define it, can form the necessary loyalty to the United States?
It's not allegiance is not a question of subjective loyalty.
Okay.
It is something you owe. It's a reciprocal relationship between the citizen, whether they want it or not. They have that allegiance, and I think it's powerfully
on the basis of what?
Domicile. I mean, that's what it says in so many words in the Venus and the Pizarro. It says, look, if you're talking about an alien, if they're just temporarily passing through, No, they don't have allegiance, but if they've made it their permanent home, they become part of our political community, and they are analogous or akin to citizens.
All right, just quickly, because I'm mindful of the time. What do you do with Juan Kim Ark's statement that birthright citizenship is applying, quote, independently of a residence with intention to continue such residence?
I mean, if you call citizenship, you should not be a Supreme Court justice. Citizenship. My goodness.
Independently of any domiciliation. I know that they use domicile. It's a fact in the case, but that's not a part of their holding. It's not what the reasoning turns on. Correct?
I believe you're quoting from page 693 of that opinion. It goes on to say, not citizen terms on that, but the duty of obedience to our laws. It doesn't take the further step at that point and say, therefore, if you have temporary local allegiance, you're a citizen. And immediately before that, you have that page 693 summary of the court's holding where it says domicile.
Juan Kim incorporates a domicile requirement.
That is the holding. It's definitely clearly expressed in the holding.
All right, one final thing, perspective. You say perspective, we're supposed to do this. Don't worry about the people who are already here and who would not qualify under your rule. How does this work? Are you suggesting that when a baby is born, people have to have documents, present documents? Is this happening in the delivery room? How are we determining when or whether a newborn child is a citizen of the United States under your rule?
And I think that's directly addressed in the SSA guidance that's cited in our brief. What SSA says is there's currently a system where, for example, social security numbers are generated based on the birth certificate. They say this can still be, for the vast majority of instances, completely transparent. You will still get a...
No, not transparent. I'm just talking about the particulars, because now you say your rule turns on whether the person intended to stay in the United States. And I think Justice Barrett brought this up. So are we bringing pregnant women in for depositions? What are we doing to figure this out?
No, as I pointed out earlier, the executive order turns on lawfulness of status. So if you give birth to a baby in the hospital right now, it gets the birth certificate in the system. There's a computer system.
So there's no opportunity. There's apparently no opportunity then for the person to prove or to say that they actually intended to stay in the United States.
Absolutely not. The opposite is true. Their opportunity to dispute if they think they were wrongly denied, which would only happen in a tiny minority of cases,
after the
is
fact.
Directly addressed in that guidance.
After the fact. Yes. After their baby has been denied citizenship, then we can go through the process.
Yes. And the way that, I'm summarizing because I'm not an expert in computers, but there's a computer program that currently automatically generates a social security number. SSA says, look, a social security number, non-citizens can have them if they have work authorization, so it doesn't prove citizenship. We'll give you a social security number, provided that the system automatically checks the immigration status of the parents, which there are robust databases for, and then it appears no different to the vast majority of birthing parents.
Thank you.
Thank you, counsel.
So she didn't even know the law, Shady.
She doesn't know the hell.
That's what you get. DEI hires by foreign and domestic billionaires. You get DEI results. I can't remember who said that, but it was perfect. I think it was Prairie Dog. Or was that you who said that? But wow, good comment. I mean, this is the ridiculousness. That's why April Fool's has been canceled, Shady, because
we don't need it. Yeah, it's completely unnecessary.
We got it every day.
Yeah, the ridiculousness that we live as April Fools every single day. We wake up every morning, we're like, okay, which fool are we going to debunk today?
Oh my God, it's getting ridiculous.
It's absolutely ridiculous because they have a very specific agenda, sir. It's March. It's April, actually. It's April. They have an agenda. They've only got like 5 or 6 months left. They got to ruin the midterms. They got to ruin MAGA. They got to get the next thing you know.
And Alex Jones actually said that, Shady.
Yes, he did. And then here's what they're going to do. They're going to start setting up these vigilante moments where they're antagonizing people. They're going to go out and they're going to start antagonizing people in cities just like Antifa does. They're going to go to these rallies and start to make as much noise as they can so that people could say, see, look at what MAGA is. This is what MAGA really is. Look right here. That's what this network is getting ready to do. And they're going to all do it just like what Ivan Ranklin did the other day to Dan Bongino. He's too much of a to go up to him and call him a pedo protector himself. So he sends his little minions in there to do it for him and pretends like he's not connected to it. Where they got a lot of cojones whenever they got Ivan Ranklin backing them up. But the day that Ivan Ranklin isn't there to back them up anymore, where are they?
Yeah. I have a question for you, Shady. This is kind of off the subject, but it's going to lead into another one. Are polygraph tests admissible in a court of law?
Yes,
they are.
I think so.
Hmm.
I'm almost certain that they are, but I'm not sure.
Let's see.
100%
Polygraph.
I thought they were. I'm probably guessed that wrong. For your point.
And there's a reason why I'm asking this. So
Okay, I assume so.
they're generally inadmissible.
Okay. I did not realize that.
They're inadmissible into U.S. courts due to, as noted by the United States Department of Justice, their lack of scientific reliability. However, they may be admissible if both prosecution and defense stipulate to their use or in limited circumstances for limited purposes like post-conviction monitoring. Okay?
Okay.
Courts often view polygraphs as unreliable because they detect physiological stress, breathing, heart rate, sweat, rather than actual lies. The stipulation requirement in many states can only be admitted if both sides agree in advance to their admissibility.
I have seen them used in different cases, especially.
All right, so you might want to wait a second before okay, so Steve Baker is saying, to all of you that has attacked me for the last 5 months, I forgive you. I do not forgive Dan Bongino, FBI Director Kash Patel, and I demand Patel's dismissal immediately. Lots more to come. There's a bombshell, Shady. Oh my God.
Bombshell!
Former Capitol Police Officer Shawnee Kirkhoff failed a November FBI polygraph test when asked if she placed the pipe bombs on January 5th, 2021, a court filing states.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that wouldn't count.
Yeah.
No. No, because that's a backwards question.
Yeah.
That question is a disqualifying question.
But the gate analysis, Shady, the gate, he had a certain gate.
Are they really still talking about gate analysis?
Well, that's what his theory was.
I know.
And now we got a polygraph test that is not admissible in a court of law.
Well, they're dead set to tell us that Tyler Robinson wasn't responsible for Charlie Kirk, and that this person that they got as the pipe bomber wasn't the pipe bomber. They're
right.
very, very convinced of both of those things whenever there's not a shred of evidence that points to either of them being anything other than what it looks like.
Yeah. So now they're calling for Cash's dismissal because of a polygraph test that doesn't prove damn jack squat, Shady Groove.
No, the polygraph test against the person that's irrelevant would not have anything to do with the receipts that the person who built the pipe bombs used to buy the material when he built the pipe bombs. That's not going to have anything to do with some other human being that was not privy to that person's purchase order.
Oh my God, Shady.
Oh no.
My clown detector is going off the charts. Oh my, look at that. My clown detector.
It's gone haywire. I think that's a signal. I think that's an incoming signal, sir. You're misunderstanding the noise. That's a communication. We're gonna start talking to you guys in Morse code.
Oh my God. Hey, Shady. That's SOS. That's SOS. Oh Lord. All right.
That's enough of that.
That's enough of that. So this is what's going on today, Shady Groove. So you got Tyler Robinson didn't unalive Charlie Kirk because of a fragmented bullet that never matches the gun ever. Okay, with a soft point round. Then now you got clown Steve Baker doing victory laps because of a alleged failing a polygraph test with his gait analysis. So that proves it. It's getting ridiculous.
You're forgetting the super soldier Mossad agent that came up through the manhole that placed the device in the microphone that was set to go off at the same exact moment that Tyler Robinson's rifle went off.
So funny, guys.
Don't forget it. But that's the critical point of the whole conspiracy.
Yeah. Wow. And
Charlie told him in a dream.
So it looks like, and we've got this admitted from Liz Crokin, saying that they don't want the death penalty for Tyler Robinson.
Yep. Which is what we knew they were doing.
Democrats don't want death penalty, except they want to kill your kids. They want to mutilate them. I mean, it's just freaking ridiculous. And The View doesn't want you having children, Shady.
This is an interesting dynamic whenever you talk about that. You're bringing that up in a tongue-in-cheek type of way, but it is an interesting dynamic because the left doesn't want the death penalty. That's 100% right. They don't want you to face any consequences. But you know what the left is doing in Canada? They've created a suicide booth. It's called MAID. Almost 10,000, I think it's more than 10,000 people now have self-suicided in Canada through this process. So they don't want the death penalty to be utilized to people who are actually destroying human beings' lives. They want the people that are victims of those people to go and self-suicide.
Yeah.
You see, life is too terrible because you've been molested by a person. Yeah, you've been molested by a person your whole life, and so life isn't worth anything. So that nobody will prosecute that person or put them in prison. So your best option is to just go unalive yourself.
Mm.
That's literally what they're saying. They're saying, "Oh, we can't really help you with your health problems. We're not really going to support you financially anymore with our great healthcare system here in Canada. Maybe you should go down and try this little unalive machine. It will do wonders for you."
Yeah. I'm choking on my Crokin. And by the way, fun fact, Liz Crokin had a severe case of herpes, and it caused her brain damage. Self-admitted.
Real good.
Jordan Saylor, how you doing over there? All right, so let's do this, Shady.
What do you mean by that? Are those two hooking up?
They did.
Did they really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. Oh, dear Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, pass it around.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to President Trump. He actually swore in Colin McDonald, but I'm actually going to probably go to the questions, okay? We're going to pass the swearing in. Let's just go to, because there were some questions, I believe. Let me just double check. Nope, they didn't have the questions. Okay, I thought because I saw on Fox News, Trump was taking questions, but maybe that was something else. Never mind. J.D. Vance swears in Colin McDonald. Okay, well, that's nice. Congratulations, Colin. President Donald Trump will be on all stations tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, talking about the war with Iran, or the operation in Iran. Okay, should be a pretty good show showing up. Shady Groove.
I got a couple more things, that I could add to what I was saying earlier about what we're currently seeing from the media. Do you notice, Jeff? Are you noticing the media is like talking to you like Iran is fighting back? You know what I'm saying? Are you noticing that the media is talking to you like Iran is fighting back? Like they can't figure out who's winning.
Right.
Do you guys understand that they're not even firing at our airplanes? Like we are flying B-52s over that country now.
Love Shack, baby, Love Shack.
We're not flying the banned B-52s over the country. These are airplanes, Jeff. They are very large airplanes, and they carry big.
That's where it's at.
They carry big, beautiful bombs.
Love Shack. Oh, by the way, I have Xfinity in South Florida, and we no longer have NBC, Shady.
Love Shack, baby. We
no longer have NBC in South Florida.
What do you mean, on your channel?
Xfinity. Yeah, they didn't have a contract. They didn't sign the contract because Scripps owns NBC rights down here or whatever, and they didn't come to a contract, and we don't have NBC. So we have no NBC right here in South Florida.
Wow. Want to talk about a changing of the time?
Yeah.
I wonder how many other market. Damn, that's interesting. Well, I mean, we talk about fake news media falling by the wayside.
Xfinity, NBC. Okay, let me just do this. Comcast pulls plug. Here it is. The Comcast Xfinity pulls plug on Florida Panthers in middle of a game. This channel is unavailable. In the first period of the 6-3 win over Ottawa. I love our Panthers. But look at that. So, Scripps owns over 60 stations across 40 markets like WSFL 39, and all pulled off the air. Some NBC affiliates were affected. Our main NBC was affected, guys.
The old Google is telling me that this is not true.
Well, I'll turn on my TV and show you exactly what I'm showing you right here.
No, I'm understanding, but it looks like they've already they've backhandedly messaged the AI to say that it's not happening. No widespread NBC affiliate non-renewals are active.
Okay.
That's what it says.
So let's go to Xfinity.com. Xfinity.
We're going to go on the field trip. You guys want to go with us? Not the zoo, but it'll be fun.
/facts. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So let's go to Xfinity.com/facts. This site can't. Xfinity.com. Xfinity. I spelled it right.
Xfinity.
Xfinity.com. XFINITY.com. Make sure that that's the site. And there's overview. Okay, let's go to, and that looks like it's facts. FACTS. There it is. EW scripts. See impacted. So this is an important update, guys. Why is it happening? It's all here, guys. Okay. See impacted stations. Let's look at this. Arizona, California, Colorado, Connecticut, DC, Florida. Look at us. Look at us, dude.
Look at that. It's literally saying it's not happening. I was like, how many markets is it happening in? Oh, it's not happening anywhere according to Google, but look at this.
Uh-huh.
I should have went to Grok.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go to Grok, see what Grok.
Look at that. So if you're in any of these areas, these are your stations that have not been renewed with Xfinity, and you got to have Xfinity, okay? But wow.
The fake news is everywhere, man.
Fake news.
Actually, it's not everywhere. There's no more fake news in South Florida.
If you have Spectrum, Liddy, you are not affected. That's right. Wow. Pretty interesting.
Grok is just as dumb as Google.
NBC is just as dumb as...
just as dumb as Google. You can say it there, too.
All right. So... that's what's happening right now. Let's see what else is going on. We got, oh my God.
Lie detector test and my gait analysis. I told you.
Oh my God. I can't with this.
I just think it's very interesting that we find ourselves in the moment where Alex Jones, General Flynn, all of their minions, Ivan Ranklin, all of these people agree with all of this stuff about Kash Patel. The media people that we were showing you, IET and Patel Patriot and Kate the Awakening and all those people were maligning him, calling him trash Patel. It's just very interesting to see how this dynamic is lining up to the guy that's actually fixing the FBI has become the target of the people who really weren't targeting. They weren't targeting Chris Wray. They weren't really targeting anybody else or saying anything about any of those people, but they got a really hard time dealing with Kash Patel.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, man. Wow, guys. Unbelievable. I'm just trying to see what else is happening here. All I got is this pipe bomb crap now. It's just, so if you go and put Tom Massey, I love Tom Massey, and you're going to see all these bots come to you, or Tom Massey's a fraud. It's like they're all using these bots, Shady Group. It's the same network that Alexis Wilkins has identified, and we identified via Q in 2018. Katie.
Yeah. And it's pervasive. It's not just in America. This is everywhere. Remember, there's no conservative media outside of this country. It does not exist. There's no Republicans of Europe. Okay, like this is nonsense. Nothing else outside of America has any semblance whatsoever. They don't even want anybody in the rest of the world to understand what a conservative is. They want you to be a socialist Democrat, and that's the ideology that they plug into your brain. In other words, whatever the majority says goes. In America, it's the opposite of that. The individual is respected, and the individual is the person that matters, not the collective and not the group. So the group thing gets flipped on its head here, and they don't want anybody else to see that because conservative values represent that exact human experience perspective.
All right, so let me go ahead. We got a President Trump truth that's fairly long. Shady Grove, this is it right here. Republicans fully support our great men and women of law enforcement. Maybe the word should be love. America thanks each and every one of our wonderful police, Border Patrol, ICE, and others for their work to protect our cities, towns, streets, and indeed our country itself. Do you notice that President Trump always capitalizes the country, the C, country? Unlike Republicans, Democrats want to defund the police, Border Patrol, and all immigration enforcement. They want to allow criminals, the mentally insane, and lunatics from all over the world to come into our country, totally unvetted and unchecked, putting Americans in serious danger. That's why we are going to go forward to fund our incredible ICE agents and Border Patrol through a process that doesn't need radical left Democrat votes and bypasses the Senate filibuster, which should be repealed immediately. Working in close conjunction with House Speaker Mike Johnson and Senate Leader John Thune, we are going to work fast and as focused as possible to replenish funding for our border and ICE agents. And the radical left Democrats won't be able to stop us. We will not allow them to hurt the families of these great patriots by defunding them. I am asking that the bill be on my desk no later than June 1st. Our law enforcement officers and the American people should not have to wait until the Democrats see reason or learn the hard way through the polls. Hopefully, everyone will be voting Republican for the midterms, though through simple unification, Republicans can do this without the Democrats. In the meantime, we will continue to use the funding from the great big beautiful bill, which is giving record tax rebates to citizens all over the country, and to ensure that ICE agents and Border Patrol agents are paid on time and in full, as we have been doing for them throughout the Democrat shutdown. Immigration enforcement will continue, and our border will remain secure, with no murderers, drug dealers, or criminals of any kind entering our country. The American people should use this opportunity to reflect on the tens of millions of illegal aliens, including many violent criminals such as murderers, rapists, human traffickers, child molesters, and more, that Joe Biden and his far-left liberal Democrat cronies in Congress, led by Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer, invited and allowed into our country for the 4 years before I took office. These radical, weak, and incompetent Democrats have made it clear that if they resume power, they will never again provide funding to secure our border or enforce our immigration laws. The Democrats are the only party of open borders for criminals, crime, zero immigration enforcement, defunding the police, and allowing the worst of the worst to have get-out-of-jail-free cards. They want America to be open and available to violent criminals, thugs, and lowlifes, not our great and loving American patriots. Don't forget that in November, win the midterms. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Remember, we've got the midterms are safe. We've done our job. Will you do yours? Vote. Okay. So this is becoming a Q-proof if this SAVE Act passes, right, Shady Groove, and all this happens. We've done our part. Will you do yours? Vote.
I'm glad to see him making these announcements right now and seeing the push that we're currently seeing, because this is effectively this is the key to how they've been ruling the kingdom. This is how they've been doing it, and if we end their ability to manipulate, we're going to end a few things. Number one, they're not going to have as many representatives because the number of people that are going to be voting is going to be substantially less due to the 3 to 5 million illegals that they're getting to vote. But also, Jeff, the biggest advocate of law enforcement. I mean, you've never seen a president advocate for law enforcement the way that Donald Trump does. They've, whether it be Bush or Clinton or whatever, they're always like, dismissive of law enforcement. Even Obama was extraordinarily dismissive of law enforcement, didn't really like law enforcement. Donald Trump is completely different because, remember, at the core, law enforcement replaced the king. They came out and they had a No Kings rally, didn't they? What if they were actually protesting your law enforcement?
Well, they kind of were, in a way.
Aha! See what I'm saying? So they tell you the truth, don't they? Mm-hmm. Because they'd rather have
They burned down law enforcement. There was an officer that got killed by these people.
Yep, and look at what they do at the ICE facilities, trying to break in. They burned down a federal courthouse. Mm-hmm. They're telling you, they're perfectly messaging. You just got to know how to listen to them.
Yeah. By the way, President Trump also posted this. We are the only country in the world stupid enough to allow birthright citizenship.
We all have foundations and institutes for a reason.
Stupid. Yeah. Yes. Wow, guys.
You were thinking the same thing, weren't you?
Stupid.
Yep.
Stupid, huh?
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay because what they're doing is like I said at the beginning of the show, we have been waiting for them to run off of the cliff, and now they have run off the cliff. We are here to help people. We're not here to run a victory lap, even though we do it every once in a while. We're here to help people understand how to make better decisions so that you can be a better American. All these people say, "Oh, we need to do this for the vets. We need to do." You want to do something for the vets? Be an American worth fighting for.
Yeah,
that's what you should do. If you can do that, if you can become an American worth fighting for, in other words, that soldier that's out there, wherever he is, he thinks of you whenever he does his job. That's the type of American each of us could be if we chose to. But these people that are claiming no kings, they honestly mean no rules. They want anarchy. They want to be able to make law what they want. In other words, so the majority rules, not the individual. They don't like this whole thing with the individual being able to be protected from the law enforcement. They like the law enforcement to be able to do what they want it to do just to the people that are on the opposite side, but not to any of them.
Damn right.
That's their move, and it's clear as day.
Yep. Breaking news, Shady Grove, Massachusetts man arrested for threatening President Donald J. Trump. Boston, a Great Barrington, Mass man has been arrested and charged for allegedly threatening the President Donald J. Trump. The defendant allegedly posted messages on Facebook threatening to injure and unalive the president. Andrew D. Emerald, 45, was indicted by a federal grand jury on 8 counts of interstate transmission of threatening communications. Emerald was arrested this morning and will appear in federal court in Springfield, Massachusetts at 2:30 p.m. today, just coming up. According to the indictment, May 25, 2025 and to July 2025, Emerald intentionally made 8 separate Facebook posts which threatened to injure President Trump. Specifically, it's alleged that Emerald made the following post, quote, May 3rd, 2025, quote, when I see to it that Donald J. Trump is put to unalive, it will be the day the purpose creation put me here for beyond creating. My daughter is fulfilled because what she is destined to do for the world is far greater than mine, taking out the orange menace. I mean, my God, Shady. This is just insufferable, TDS bullshit. Wow. Mind control works, guys. I'm not going to read all of them, but look at that. 8 separate posts, okay?
Oh, you know what else works? Law and order.
Yeah.
You know what else works? Whenever you hand stupid people the internet, that works.
Yeah.
Because
This charge of internet transmission of threatening the communications provides a sentence of up to 5 years in prison, 3 years of supervised release, and a fine of $250,000. Sentences are imposed by a federal district court judge based on the U.S. sentencing guidelines and statutes which govern the determination of a sentence in a criminal case. Shady. Wow. Wow.
Like I said, just hand them the internet and they'll take care of themselves. I mean, this is effectively a self-inflicted wound.
Wow. Guys, that's another one. It's Wednesday.
Saying it.
Wednesday hump day, Shady Grove.
Very brave. It's over, isn't it?
It's over.
Wow. That was a great day. What a 3-day run we've had here to revisit Roger Stone, General Flynn, and Alex Jones. Each and every day you are going to see this escalate. So
it's escalating, man.
Don't think that it's over. Like, this is just the beginning of this. Like, now Alex Jones has made his proclamation. So now the whole system can go along with Alex Jones. So Infowars will be full frontal coming at you if you are supportive of MAGA, just like the mass holes in the Marjorie Trader Brown bot network.
And today we talked about all of you awesome, amazing patriots that support the MG show, making your own music on Suno. You know, music can be healing. Shady, I'll see you tomorrow.
It always is. And you know what else is healing? A bunch of amazing red-pilled patriots. I think that's the most healing thing this country's ever had.
I know. I was about ready to go, and then I did.
You asked.
Well, I didn't ask.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I was ending the show.
I'm going to back up.
Music.
Hillary Clinton, go!
Hey, wait. Did you guys like and share the live, guys?
Answer the question.
Come on. God bless you, Shady. See you guys tomorrow.
Boom.
In the whispers of the night, a question softly calls. Q post 4807 echoes through the halls. Can music be healing? It asks a spark of light. MG Music heard the truth, and they're singing it tonight. With every note they weave, a story's being told, lifting up the weary, giving strength to the bold. From the heart of Suno, their melodies arise, carrying the hope that lights inner peace. MG Music's on a mission with Suno's vibrant stage, spreading love and freedom in this golden age. The world's been bruised and broken, but the rhythm holds us tight. A melody of courage cutting through the night. Cues words ignite the spark, the truth begins to soar. MG Music, songs that lack the heart's forgotten door. On Suno's waves, they're crafting dreams for all to hear. A symphony of awakening, dispelling doubt and fear. From post to song, the message flows, it's clear and strong. Music's here to heal us, and it's where we belong. Oh, music is the medicine, it's the soul's sweet release, healing through the sound, it brings us into peace. MG Music's on a mission with Suno's vibrant stage, spreading love and freedom in this golden age. Through the fog of psyops, where shadows twist and lie, MG Music's truth rings out, a beacon in the sky. With every chord they shatter the chains that cloud the mind. Their songs a sword of clarity, leaving fear behind. Can you feel the vibration, the harmony within? Every chord a prayer, where the healing begins. MG Music's got the vision, Suno's got the flame. Together they're rewriting on. Oh, music is the medicine, it's the soul's sweet release, healing through the sound, it brings us in peace. MG Music's on a mission, Suno's vibrant stage, spreading love and freedom in this golden height. Can you feel the vibration, the harmony within? Every chord a prayer, where the healing begins. MG Music's got the vision, Suno's got the flame. Together they
www.mg.show. Boom.